Hey, so I've stopped in here at Walgreens on the way home from the clinic today. I'm going to run in and go through the cold and flu aisle with you guys and just kind of show you what I would purchase for my family. We're seeing a ton of flu A right now, and so the bad thing about flu is it's a virus, and so with a virus you can't take an antibiotic to make it go away or to kill the bacteria because it's not a bacteria, it's a virus. So it's got to kind of live its course. So if you come in within 24 hours of showing symptoms, then we can give you a medicine called Tamiflu or Zofluza, one of those, and that can help decrease your symptoms quicker. Studies kind of show that it can make you feel better about a day to maybe a day and a half earlier if you're taking the Tamiflu versus if you don't. So when you have the flu and you can't take anything to make it go away any quicker, I want to kind of show you some meds that you can take inside Walgreens that would just help with the symptoms. So because that's what you've got to do with the flu, is just symptom treatment, you know, the cough, the body aches, the fever, all of that. So let's go in and see what we can find. Okay guys, so this is Kids Dayquil. All of these medicines that I show you today are basically going to have the same exact ingredients in it. This one has acetaminophen, which is the active ingredient in Tylenol, and it also has dextromethorphan. So the acetaminophen is really going to help with the fever aspect of the kids being sick. The dextromethorphan is a cough suppressant, so it's going to work on helping them get their cough under control. This will really work well on a dry, hacky cough, not a congested cough. Okay guys, this is the kids' NyQuil. Again, this is going to be the same ingredients that we were looking at, the acetaminophen for the fever, dextromethorphan for the cough, and oxalamine. This is an antihistamine, so it's going to help dry up their nose if they've got some drainage or something going on, but basically it's just used to knock them out. Okay, I wanted to look at this one specifically because it's got some different ingredients in it. It's got the acetaminophen for the fever, but the antihistamine that they're using in this one is diphenhydramine. That is just Benadryl. So they're just using that to basically make them go to sleep. The nasal decongestant phenylalapine that's in this medication, studies have actually shown that it is absolutely ineffective. The FDA actually thought about pulling it at one point in time because it basically does nothing. So this one would probably be my recommendation for the kids just because it doesn't have the acetaminophen in it. If they're not running a fever, then they don't need that. But I would give this to my kids like if they were having a cough because it's got the dextromethorphan in it. But it's also got the chlorphenamine in it. That is an antihistamine. That's going to help them dry up if they've got any nasal drainage or congestion going on. But I would only give them the other ones that have the acetaminophen in them if they had a fever. I would rather just give them one like this and just give them the fever medicine separate. That way I could choose whether or not I wanted to give them Tylenol or ibuprofen. This is a medicine that you can pick up if they're having an earache. It's actually got 4% lidocaine in it, which is a topical analgesic that can help when they're having earache. I would also give them some ibuprofen to help with that. Chloraseptic is a great option for sore throats. It has phenol in it, which is an oral anesthetic, and this can be used all the way down to 3 years old. That's another thing that you really have to pay attention to with all of these cough and cold medications for kids. The majority of them can't be used for children under the age of 6. So if you've got a little one that's sick and they're under the age of 6, I would definitely come in and let us look at them. But this one will work great for nighttime, especially when you don't want them to have like a cough drop or something in their mouth, and you can just spray it in. It'll help them rest. This is my favorite cough drop. Cepacals are great. They have benzocaine. It's 15 milligrams. It's kind of like a lidocaine. It's an oral pain reliever. It will work really well. So will the menthol in it. They can use these during the day whenever they're up and about. All right, let's jump into some adult medications. This one is great for if you have nasal congestion. It's got oxymetazoline in it, and basically what it does is it shrinks the blood vessels in the nose, and that clears up some of the congestion because a lot of times it's just swelling instead of actual mucus in there. The thing about this medication is you really don't want to take it for more than 3 days because you can have rebound swelling in the nose if you take it for more than 3 days. So, quick little fun fact thrown in here. This is actually amphetamine. It's the L-isomer of an amphetamine, so it's kind of like methamphetamine and can actually cause a false positive on a drug test. So this is the cough medicine that I would pick. It's got dextromethorphan in it. It's a single ingredient, and I tend to lean more towards medications that have single ingredients in it than multiple combination medications. Most of the time you're going to see that you get a higher dosage when you go with a single ingredient medication. This one's going to work great for that dry, hacky cough. Alright guys, we have Dayquil and NyQuil. These are a pretty popular pick for people, but again, they have the same medications in them. Acetaminophen, that's Tylenol. The dextromethorphan, that's going to be your cough suppressant. And the doxylamine at nighttime, that's just going to be kind of like a Benadryl that knocks you out. The daytime version has, again, Tylenol in it, acetaminophen, dextromethorphan, that's your cough suppressant, and then it has the phenylalprine. Like I said before, this is not a great nasal decongestant. I think there are better options out there, but this is one of the medications that I would say this is why I don't like combination meds, because I would much rather just get the dextromethorphan in a single dose, not take the acetaminophen unless I absolutely needed it, and use a better decongestant for the nose. So I keep saying that I would pick a better nasal congestant. This is the one that I would pick. So this is Sudafed. It has the active ingredient pseudoephedrine in it. This is a great nasal decongestant. It's going to work really good on the nose and the sinus cavities. So this is the thing. This is 120 milligrams. Myself, I would drop down to 60 milligrams just because it does have a tendency to make my heart beat pretty fast and cause some palpitations for me personally. This is also not a medication that I would use if I had high blood pressure because it can make that worse. And if you have anxiety, it has been shown to make you a little bit more anxious. But this is a great medicine, and I even give it to my teenagers. The biggest problem with this is you are going to have to get it from behind the pharmacy counter because it can be used to make methamphetamine, but it's honestly worth it. So walk up there and ask them for it. Don't be fooled. This one is sitting on the shelf, but this one has phenylalprine in it. Yes, it's by the brand Sudafed, but it does not have the active ingredient of pseudoephedrine in it. So make sure that you're looking at it. You will not be able to get pseudoephedrine out here on the shelf. You will have to go to the pharmacy. So we've talked about a dry, hacky cough, but this is what I would take if I had a very congested cough. This has got guaifenesin in it. It's going to be an expectorant that helps break up the congestion you have in your chest. So the biggest thing about this is make sure you're drinking plenty of water with it so that it doesn't just sit up like concrete in your chest. You want it to really be able to smooth things out. So drink water and take this. If you have high blood pressure, quercetin is a medication that you can pick up. It does have a decongestant in it. It has guaifenesin, which is the expectorant one, and this one also has acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. But this is going to be a lower dosage, and that means that it's not going to affect your blood pressure quite as much as some of these other decongestants will. Supplements that you can take: vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. These are all great for the innate immune system, and they can actually keep you from getting sick in the first place.